we talk about a series that no one talks about anymore? Sly Cooper was a fantastic entry into the platformer world. It's amazing to think that this is only Sucker Punch's second game, the first being Rocket Robot on Wheels, another great platformer for the N64. Seriously, pick that shit up if you can find it, it's great. Sly Cooper had its flaws, sure, but it also had a lot of personality and charm, traits that are few and far between in more modern games. Beyond all that, it had tight controls, an interesting story, memorable characters, and good level design. Overall, a very first solid entry to the series. Sly 2 took everything about Sly Cooper and expanded it. The game had a greater focus on stealth, more open-ended levels, and introduced Sly's best friends, Bentley and Murray, as playable characters. Sly 2 marks a point where the series would eventually develop its own identity. It still had some issues here and there, but again, it was another great entry into the series. Yo, and when Sly 3 came out! Holy fuck, this is the series' magnum opus in my opinion. It took the Sly 2 formula and made it fantastic. It even further raised the bar that Sly 2 set. Sucker Punch didn't fix what wasn't broken with this one, instead focusing more on the little things and adding different features to the game. This right here, this is nice. Thank you. Thank you for that. I love you. It was an amazing entry to end the original trilogy on. So amazing that 5 years later they decided to make an HD collection. The reason I bring this up is because a different developer actually handled the Sly collection while Sucker Punch was off dealing with the infamous franchise. Sanzaro Games was in charge of making the enhanced version of the OG Sly series. Damn, I'm white. I'm so white. It was great, and they handled it with extreme care. Now everyone who missed out on the Sly series could experience it in all its glory. Whew, you know, all this talk about the Sly series has really made me want to actually pick up and play the games again. So I think I'm just gonna do that. Oh, God. Oh, that's a good series. Wait, what's this? Sanzaru apparently had other plans for the series, as they included a bonus trailer for a new entry in the series. They also worked on a prototype for a new game, which they presented to Sony, and they greenlit it. So Sanzaru, not Sucker Punch, began work on the next Sly game. Hey man, I thought it ended, what? It was a little weird, but they did good with the Sly collection, so they'll be okay with the next game. Right? Right? A classic series with a modern twist? It'll be cool, right? Right! Sly 4 dropped on February 5th, 2013, and I seriously had no fucking clue that it did. Seriously, there was no press for this game. Why? It's a staple series for Sony. I don't get it. But whatever, we finally got the game and ooh. Something's very wrong here. I really want to like this game, I really do, but it just misses the mark by a little bit. There are a lot of things that just frustrate the hell out of me. Like this! This is fucking unacceptable for 2013! But today, I want to talk about the most glaring issue in my eyes. Movement and controls. I'm going to compare Sly 4 to Sly 3 because it has the same engine as Sly 2, and the overall movement is the same from the original Sly Cooper. It's also closest to the way Bentley moves in Sly 3. This might be hard to convey to you through a video, because normally I'd just say play it for yourself, but I'm gonna try anyway. I also should say that I'm gonna stick with the original 3 characters just for the sake of consistency. First off, normal movement! Normal movement is pretty much the same. Thanks for that. You did it. You can still sprint with R1 as well. The only thing that really makes me feel dead inside is Sly's running animation. Rest in peace, old friend. So far so good, right? Jumping is okay too, except when you're moving at regular speed and jump, you gain speed as if you were sprinting and you jump. You also lose a bit of momentum when you double jump. I don't quite understand why this is off-putting, but it is. Speaking of off-putting, whenever you land from a high distance, the game just slows down as if it was trying to be cinematic, but it just comes off as unnecessary. Before I continue, I should say that these are small issues that add up quick to an overall frustrating movement experience. Especially coming from 2 and 3, where the movement was pretty much the same, you build up expectations. Why mess with a good formula? A weird thing happens with Sly's signature moves. You seem to fucking fly at blue areas you can land on from further away. Like a magnet. It kinda helps you with the slower movement of everything. Also, pickpocketing feels slower. And do you see a theme here? It's kind of like when you got Brawl. You realized it was slower than Melee, and you just want to kind of go back to Melee? Yeah, same here. Let's have a look at combat. The buttons are all in the right places. One thing that carried over from Sly 3 to Sly 4 is the charge moves. I prefer it more when triangle was the upward strike, so you could easily perform a stealth slam. It's replaced by a charged spin attack and different moves that you can combo into by buying them. So what happened to the stealth slam? So here's what you have to do. You have to get close enough. You have to sneak behind that enemy. Get up right behind him, just right there. Yeah, that's right. And then, only then you can do it. Yeah. It's clunky as hell for some reason. It's really not as satisfying. Makes you want to avoid combat, really. Okay, now I would like to talk about my biggest issues with the game. The camera and the binocucom. The camera passively fights you. It's really active when you move now. It wasn't so much in previous titles. You, the player, without thinking, want to move it in a certain direction, but it just goes in another. It's just downright frustrating. Like, just chill, bro, I don't need help! Also, the binocucom is... Get this, you zoom in and out with the left stick, and you look around with the right stick. I will ask you all again. This is literally backwards, and it feels like a slap in the fucking face. In the field, you moved with the left analog stick, and you look around with the right. Why would they do this? It's fucked up! You know those fucking recon missions you have to do at the beginning of each level? Well, those feel like hell now. Also, hold on, what's with these little things popping up? I know how to play the game, fuck you very much. In a series that already breaks your immersion from literally telling you how to play in the dialogue, these little shits pop up and do it some more. Another thing that's unnecessary is the motion-controlled sections. It feels really forced and tacked on, like they did it because they can. Another example of just because they can is... And... Also, the pulsing is maddening. My analysis so far has been just about Sly. What about the other guys? Murray has a lot of the same issues as Sly, except his running movements are slower than before. Murray has always been by far the best for combat, and that still stands in Sly 4. Whoever's decision it was to put the Thunder Flop on Triangle now, what the fat fucking stinky ass shit were you thinking? Sadly, a good portion of his moveset has to be bought on ThiefNet. I don't really want to talk about these because most of them are optional. Bentley, surprisingly, feels the best. He's actually faster and feels really at home control-wise. They didn't really fuck with him. Thank you, God. The only thing that really sucks about him is when he's firing darts through his binocucom. But I've already made my point on this. There are other little things that frustrate me, but I do have to say they did add a few features that were nice. I just wish they would have focused on fluidity of movement more. Fluid movement is something I really appreciate. A character should move like you think they will. It's different in every game, but some do it better than others. Like I said, it just misses the mark by just a little bit! The little things are what add up and really matter in the end. I wanted Sly 4 to be great. We all did. It just turned out to be decent in the end. I hope Senzaro gets it right, or at least better than they did before if they do another installment. Spoiler, Sly 4 ends on a cliffhanger. If you haven't already, pick up the Sly collection. You can get it for a good price nowadays, and it's well worth it. Hey guys, thanks for checking out my video. If you don't know what's going on, or you want to see more, click right here and it'll take you to the first prog where I talk about Mario Sunshine and Mario Galaxy. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who checked out the first prog before. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea if people would like it or if they would think it's good. And the response so far has been pretty positive, so thank you for that. Hey, I just wanted to say sorry for the delay between episodes. There's some stuff in my life that I needed to take care of, and that was holding me back and making me feel bad and not wanting to do this, but I trudged on through. Hey, if you enjoy this and you feel so inclined, share it with a friend or two. It really helps us out. I just want to say thanks again for supporting me and supporting Sludgewave. You guys are great. I can't thank you enough for it, so hopefully you're looking forward to the next prog, and whatever else we put out in the future. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one.